Welcome to Pets of the Week. My name is Elizabeth, and I'm the canine coordinator here at Second Chance. And this dog with me today is Harry. Harry is about 9 years old. He is a mixed breed. Originally, he had come to us as a stray, and then was adopted out, and then their living situation changed, and they want him in a home that had a little more time for them, so they brought him back. He's friendly, outgoing, fine with cats. He does prefer to be with someone who's home a lot, or not home, or when they're not home, not to be gone for very long. He can be a little particular about dogs he meets, but again, he's kind of an older, gentle dog who doesn't want to really tolerate being around a lot of puppies or anything like that, jumping all over him. He would do best with a fenced yard, or at least someone that's willing to walk him. He does tend to run away if he sees the chance. That's probably why he was a stray originally. But other than that, he does like to hang out in the office and around people as long as they want to give him some attention. Come here, buddy. Come here. Can you sit? Yes. And shake. Good boy. Do you down? Can I give you a belly rub? Come here. Yes. So this exuberant little guy is Nate. Nate is approximately 8 years old. He came to us as his previous owner's situation changed, and they wanted him in a home that had more time for them, and they were also moving and couldn't take him with them. So he came to us. Nate could possibly go with another dog upon introduction, but he is not good with cats. We also recommend Nate go to a home with older children, just because of some of his behaviors. He would do best with older kids. Very friendly. He likes to go for walks and hanging out with people, as you can see. He does like to play with toys, and he does play with a couple dogs here at the shelter, big or small. Doesn't seem to bother him. So this big goofy guy is Ozzy. Ozzy is about 4 years old. He came to us as he wasn't getting along with the other dogs in the house. He can be pretty particular about dogs he likes. We've been working with him a little bit on it, but he would do best as the only dog. He could possibly live with a cat. He has never lived with a cat before, so you kind of take your chance if you want to see about cats. But he's been fine with children and all the people he meets. So if you're interested in meeting this big goofy guy, come down and meet him. He does like to play. He loves going for walks. So he's just waiting for the right home that can handle such a big dog. So stop in the shelter and see him. Boy. Is it pretty again? Oh, he's such a good boy. Good boy.
So this right here is Shades. He's 7 months old, and his brother is Paws down there. And they came in together to find a home. They don't necessarily have to go together. Shades seems to only really get along with Paws at the moment. He does get along with some of the other cats, but he doesn't really play with them. But as you can see, he's pretty playful, so he would need somebody to play with him throughout the day. And Paws over there, he's a little bit more mellow, but he's kind of the same way. They're still just kittens, so they have a lot of energy left in them. They have a lot of personality, though, and they're very fun to watch play. Here's some of the newer ones in this room. They haven't been here for too long. They were kind of a little bit too big to go into our kitten room, so we decided to put them in here, and they get a little bit more exercise in here as well. This is Dylan and Thomas over here. They came in together as brothers. We're trying to adopt them out as a pair because they seem pretty bonded together. They're very sweet. Dylan and Thomas. This one is Thomas and that one's Dylan, the one up top on the shelf there. And they're both really sweet. Dylan was a little bit more shy when he first came in. They're still kind of kittens themselves. They're only about 9 months old now. And they're really great together. They're not too crazy or anything. They would make some really good lap cats. And little Oliver down here, he's a nice cat. He can be out with other cats in the room with him, but if they try to play with him or get too close, he'll kind of swat him in the face. He likes his space a little bit, and he's 3 years old. He's been here for a little while. Dibber, he's a really sweet guy down here. He's a big boy. He's about 21 pounds right now, but he's working on his diet. He came in with the cat Fireball over there and a couple others that aren't quite available yet. He's about 2 years old, maybe 3. They weren't quite sure on his age when they had brought him in, but he definitely seems on the younger side. His teeth are in good shape and everything. And he's a great cat. He loves belly rubs, and he's a staff favorite here, so he'll probably find a home pretty quick. He has a sweet little meow, too. He's a little scared when he first came in. He would hide under his blanket and his bedding, but he's kind of gotten used to it now that he's been here for a little while longer. And then up here we have Tiger. When he came in, he was very fearful. He's not a cat that would necessarily make a lap cat. I mean, he might eventually with some proper socialization, but he would make like a really good barn cat or an inside-outside cat, like if you had any mice or anything you needed to have taken care of. He is nice to people. He won't scratch or anything, but he doesn't really like being bothered too much, and he doesn't really enjoy being here at the shelter. But he is a very beautiful boy, and he's about 7 years old. But he would make a really good inside-outside cat, and once he gets used to you and he's socialized a little bit, he probably would come around and be pretty friendly with you. That one, I believe, is Honey, and her sister's name's Toffee, and they were born in April. In the beginning of the month, and they probably are some of our longest kittens that have been in this room. And then in this cage right here, there were 6 of them, but now there's only 4 because a lot of them have been getting adopted because they're really sweet and really cute. These were bottle babies. Their mother was just, they couldn't find her. They don't know if she was hit by a car or something. So they came in and they were really tiny. Their little eyes were closed. They were probably about a week old. And they were sent out into foster, and they got bottled fed until they were big enough for their spay-neuter surgeries and to come here. So they would make really good lap cats, and they were born in March. And one of the orange ones is actually a female, which I know we don't see too many solid orange females lately. And then right here we have Pistachio and Cashew. They're kind of bigger kittens. They might outgrow this room pretty soon if they don't get adopted. I'd say they're about 6 months old, maybe 5 months, not quite at the 6-month mark yet. And then next to them, there's a cage of 2 black kittens called Knox and Lumos. They were born in April as well. Their mom was actually in the shelter with them, but she was adopted just recently. And we actually have a special going on right now for some of our cats that are harder to place, like black and white cats, that they're fee waived right now, as long as you're approved for application and everything. Mainly just because we get a lot of them in. And when you have a lot of cats in the same room that are all the same color, it's kind of overwhelming for people to pick one. So they tend to sit here a little bit longer, and just because of the superstition as well that black cats are bad luck, which we don't find to be true here. And they're really sweet, and they've been waiting for homes for quite a while now, and they're kind of growing up here. And in this cage we have Pickles, and she's a little bit shy. She was found in someone's backyard by the road. And she's a really, really sweet little cat, and she's just kind of scared of being here. She doesn't really hiss or try to scratch you or anything. She's just fearful. So after a while, being here, she's warmed up quite a bit, but she's still a little bit scared. So most of the time, she just hides in her bed. But she's very, very sweet, and she just needs a little socialization. And she would be Probably a great lap cat one day with the right person if they take the time to socialize her, which wouldn't take long. I would say maybe 2 weeks of having her at your house, and she would probably be, running around playing just like all the other kittens you see. And in here we have Pip, Squeak, and Joey. They were born in March as well. They've been here a little while. We were told that they were feral when they came in, but they didn't really seem to be that feral at all. One of them was a little bit hissy, but after just being picked up by the staff regularly every day, they're very social now, and they're very sweet. And they're on the younger side too, so they're still really playful and everything. And in here we have Macaroon and Pizzelle. They were in a litter of 5, but the others have all been adopted, so these are the last 2 that are left. And their mom was also here in the shelter. And they're really sweet. He seems to be a little camera shy. And they were born in March as well. And this right here is Waffle. He's about 3 years old. He's a really sweet cat. He's one of the staff favorites. We have him out in our lobby next to our front desk. When he first came in, he was in our room called Cabin with some other cats that are in cages, and he seemed to do all right with a couple of cats throughout the day. As long as they didn't get too in his face, he was fine coexisting with them as long as they had room to move away from each other and everything. And then we decided to try him in our open room where all the cats were just walking around, and it was a bit too much for him. He seemed to be a little bit of a bully in there. It was just overwhelming having that many cats around him. So now he's in this condo. We're trying to get him adopted. He's been here for quite a while. I would say a good 5 or 6 months. And he's a really sweet boy. He was just a big tomcat, and we just had too many tomcats in one room together. But I think he would do fine with another cat, as long as they had enough space to kind of go their own way.
So that's been Pets of the Week. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time.